tell people the truth, they don't really want to hear it. I have a love-hate relationship with the human race. I watch, we have a program here in America called
This doesn't make any sense.
Point taken. Point taken, Mitch.
I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's funny.
I call it the Epstein hoax. It takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements we've had, they're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems.
And there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Who died 3-4 years ago.
Well, he's dead.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so.
Who died?
You know, in general, you always have to be careful.
Going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
I think that she's got a lot of moral, and she's really a beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah. I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
You know about sexual predators and things like that.
Right.
I mean,
You are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including the Middle East. The sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people.
The internet? It's just chat rooms and cat pictures. No normal person is going to use this thing.
They're stupid people.
Once you reach the level where you have no evidence for your suppositions, but your suppositions are more important than any of the evidence or even the credibility of the people you're attacking. And let's be clear, when people like Tucker are attacking the DOJ and the FBI here, they're attacking President Trump's DOJ and President Trump's FBI. They're not just attacking Pam Bondi, who again, I think acted really irresponsibly by feeding this monster for a while without the evidence to actually support it.
Well, he's dead, so.
But the attacks are not just on Pam Bondi for being inconsistent. The attacks are on the entire Trump administration, because if you actually believe the proposition that the Trump administration knows better and is lying to you in order to cover for a child trafficking sex monster, if that is your supposition, then just say it. Really, just say it. Because that's what you would have to suppose. There is no third choice. Again, there are only two possibilities here. Either Pam Bondi screwed up the rollout of this particular case, and she oversold what was there, and then she had to walk it back, but she won't publicly walk it back. Or the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, the head of the FBI, the Deputy Director of the FBI, and the head of the DOJ are all complicit in a child rape cover-up. Those are the only two choices. There is no third choice. The same thing holds true for people who are making claims on the other side. Otherwise, I can claim that he was working for a cadre of space aliens who are blackmailing high-profile Americans in order to protect from a future invasion.
I have my own sources high up in the law enforcement, let's say, I'll just go that far, who say, not only do we believe he was an agent, but we don't believe he killed himself.
I mean, that's fine. And then they should come out and they should say that. And then they should say who's covering that up.
Okay, but this is what Ben, they can't. I mean, there are a lot of people who say they can't, right? They can't because let's look at what the administration is saying right now. They don't want to be the one to cross Trump. Look, my position is let's show us all the evidence so we can come to our own conclusions.
I have the names of the people. So I agree with you. That's fine. I have the names of the people who are making the claim that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself and that the most gross, and sort of extreme of the conspiracy theories or theories, just don't even call them conspiracy theories. The most sort of, extreme version of the theory is not true. I have names of the people who are claiming that. Okay, they are all in the administration.
You can't come to me and say, everybody I know says he killed himself. And then I respond saying, I actually have my own sources who say he didn't. And then you say, well, your sources are not valid because they won't put their names on it. Okay, who are your sources? Let's go down the list and then we'll talk about why they might be saying that.
My sources are the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, Dan Bongino, the Deputy Head of the FBI, and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General.
Talk about the USS Liberty incident. There have been multiple studies, U.S. Navy, Joint Chiefs of Staff, CIA, House, Senate, NSA. Most of the reports, according to historian Richard Brownell, do not assign culpability for the incident. They focus on communications failures. I have to say I'm a little bit bewildered why you're so obsessed with an incident that is now 52 years old. Why you're so obsessed with an incident that is now 52 years old. If you have theories that are better than those of the American government, they've got operators standing by, feel free to dial them and tell them about your 5-decade-old theories.
Your FBI director or Pam Bondi, they have made some inconsistent statements in the past. You've had...
Well, I don't know. I can't speak about him, but I can say that Pam Bondi, I really think that she's done very good. She says, I gave you all the credible information. And if she finds any more credible information, she'll give that too. What more can she do than that? I mean, honestly, what more can she do?
I'm not saying it's not there. Who are you going to get
get that? For instance, who is currently holding, this is way off the topic, but who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
But who? That's
under direct control of the director of the FBI. Just like the manifesto from the Nashville school shooting of the Catholic school. We still haven't seen that, right? It's not the Nashville police or PD saying we don't want this out. The FBI airmailed into that operation and said this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation. All these local law enforcement communities get funding from the DOJ and FBI for local programs. And if you don't cooperate, you're not getting your $1 million for this, and you're not getting and that's a lot of money to these local districts. That's how they play the game.
It's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
I saw you
give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
I call it the Epstein hoax.
Your soul is in your keeping alone. Even though those who presume to claim you be kings or men of power, when you stand before God, you cannot say, but I was told by others to do thus, or that virtue was not convenient at the time. This will not suffice.